Yeah,
Welcome to the show, folks. How's it
yeah,
going?
we got to bring that back again because with bam,
Bam, that thing is powerful. Bringing it
just
in. What's
like
going on,
that.
people? Thanks for watching us today. We got a little bit of a late start, but that's okay. You know, life happens. Everybody's got things they got to do. But we thank you for joining us and tuning in, taking time out of your day to be with us.
You know what I feel like?
What's that?
I mean, that's it. That's
Just
what
a
I
little
felt like.
sample.
This is
Just a
I
little,
felt like get my mind right. Get
that's it.
your mind right.
I love it, man. Listen, folks, we got a great show today. Today's topic is it's not if you win or lose, it's how you plan the game. I'm sure you heard somebody say it's how you play the game, but most people ain't playing out here. We're trying to take things seriously. We want to really come in this thing. We want to win. We want to get our mindset ready to grow. And so today it's not how you play the game, it's how you plan it. Doesn't matter if you win or lose, because a good strategy can take you through several battles. Win again and again and again. That's
Again and again
powerful right
and again.
there. And again and
Man,
again
you
and
are
again.
so powerful, dude. Again and again and again. A good plan, man.
A good
A
plan.
really good plan will get you there. I'm trying to remember this Lao Tzu phrase. Like it's gonna come to me because I only heard it like 2 or 3 times. You know, we already know if you fail to plan, you plan. You know, you plan to fail. Everyone's heard that. If you
Right.
fail to, we know that. But there's another one, man. It's like, I'm gonna find it, but it revolves around the whole aspect that if you don't plan, you really don't care about the outcome.
You really don't. You're just throwing things in the wind like a paper airplane, hoping it flies to the direction you want it to go in, which 99% of the time it won't. You're at the mercy of the wind. You know, I have a
Yep.
little saying of my own. I say a well-worked plan works well, but if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. I tell my kids that all the time. I say a
A
well-worked plan does what?
well-worked
And they say
plan works
works well.
well.
Yep. You got to work the plan. You got to have the plan first. So we're going to talk about a little bit today. You know, we want to give you guys some insight on how to strategize, how to build that plan, how to refactor and change your plan as you go along, and then how to make sure that the plan is deployed properly. And a good example of that might be your favorite sports team. Think about man, Tony Dungy. You know, that guy's awesome, right? Uh, or even Mike Dick or any of these different coaches. They had to come into usually a team that was not winning. They had a bad record. And what made them so well known is that they changed the game because they changed the plan. They moved people around, moved people in different positions that they didn't play, put in guys that are
Yep.
defensive tackle in as a fullback. And you say, what is that? But he's got that muscle to bust through the line. So seeing it differently, changing the plan. And now these guys go on to win championships. And they
Right.
don't do it once, they do it again and again and again. Why? Because they understood how to make a good game plan, got the people that's with them to understand the plan, and then for them to carry out the plan.
Man, now that's the plan.
That's the plan.
Okay. I mean, it comes down to that. And we're talking about plans. If you just tune in and you're watching replay, this is something to conceptualize for yourself. Always think about how what you're listening to, you can then make it practical. So what are the plans that you're making?
Yeah.
And start thinking about that as we're dialoguing and talking about, different aspects of proper planning. What you'll find is proper planning leads to proper time management, which leads to proper energy management. Because you can't manage time at all, but you can manage your energy.
You can
But it
manage
all
your
starts
energy.
with a plan.
So let's start with that. Let's start with making a plan, right? So first of all, what is a plan? A plan is an outline of instructions or outline of ideas that take you from one place to another. So think of your plan as like your car, your vehicle. If you say I'm currently in Ohio and I want to go to California, well, you got to choose the vehicle. Okay, so this is the vehicle. So we start mapping out, and is this going to have enough room for us? Do we need a minivan? Do we need a truck? Do we need a compact car? You find the vehicle you need, and then you load in the stuff you need, and then you say, okay, let's make the journey. And hopefully everything we've stocked up in this car to make that travel is going to be sufficient. That's what a plan is. The plan is the vehicle. The plan says, okay, what do we need? Where are we going? Okay, so I have a business. Let's say your business is you're making a food product in your home. So you first thing you do is say, how do I make the product? So you plan out, you make an ingredient list, you go get the stuff from the store, you plan, you make the stuff and create it. Now you've got the product. Now you got to say, how do I sell it? Well, you start looking at places you can sell it, planning out the method of that. Maybe you go to local stores, little flea markets and things like that, and go in there and sell the cakes. And along the way, see, you're adding to your plan, you're adjusting your plan. Now that I'm selling it, how do I make my profit? What do I do with my profit? All these things. They're different vehicles that take you to different levels. The first level was how do I create this product? That was the first level. Then it was how do I sell it? See, that's growth. Okay, now that I sold it, what do I do with the profits? That's growth. That's another level. It's ladder rungs, different rungs of the ladder. Your plan should be the same way. So if you just have one single plan, as I asked somebody not too long ago, I said, hey, if I gave you $1 million today, if I gave you $1 million, what are you going to do with it? Invest it. Okay, well, tell me about that. Invest it in what? I'm going to invest it in stocks. Okay, well, what stock? I don't know. Microsoft, Google, Apple, because you heard of those stocks. That's why you chose those. Those aren't very good growth stocks. They're not growing much. They have maybe good dividends, but they're not growing. What's your goal with the money? Why are you investing in the first place? A lot of plans start with that simple question: why?
Yeah. Why?
What's your why? Yeah.
What's your why?
You want to
Yeah.
touch on the why? I know you got a lot about the why, don't you?
Dude, listen, your why, man, is listen, once you understand your why, it leads the way. This is about to get real lyrical and poetic because it is.
Uh-oh.
Life is like that. You know, when you find your why, it finds the way.
The why
Like
finds the
that's
way.
just the why finds the way and the why finds the how. And meaning the how to, because the why is the driver.
Hmm.
The why is the driver. The why is why you waking up. The why
The
is why
why
you're
is the
doing.
why is the Uber driver and the plan is the vehicle. You need the
Come
two
on,
together.
come on.
Come on.
So your why is driving and leading you the way, and it's showing you the how every single day. It gets even stronger even when you pray. You don't have to
Ooh.
listen to anything that I say. You can just try it
It's
for
okay.
yourself. It's
It's
okay.
okay.
But it is the
Yeah, I was
driver,
looking for the
man.
quote, man. I was looking for the quote, but if you don't know the why, you'll never know the how, the what, the when, or the where.
Mm,
Think about that. If you don't know the
yeah.
why, you'll never know the what, the when, the how, and the
Basically,
where.
basically. Wow, that's
Yeah.
interesting. That's like if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. Like I like that,
And you know
dude.
to get
Dude,
you there.
say that again.
If you don't
If-
know the why, you won't know the when, the where, the how, and the when. You won't know the other ones. The when,
right, you're right. You won't
where,
know any
what,
of that.
and
When, why,
how.
what.
Yeah.
You don't know
You
why.
need
You
to
won't
know
know
the
the
why.
when. Dang, and that's
Because it
true.
don't
We
matter.
just
Because
said
if
it.
I say, it doesn't matter. Because if I say, what are you doing? It doesn't matter what you're doing. The motivation is why. Where are you going? It doesn't matter where you're going. The motivation is why. How
Yep.
did you do that? It doesn't matter. Tell me why. I tell my son all the time, I say, listen, I don't really need to know all the details. I just need to know why. If you tell me I'm trying to cool off, why? Because I'm hot. Now I know how to counterbalance the hot. You know, we have to
That's
figure out the
good.
why. We know how to counterbalance that thing. I'm thirsty. Why? I was outside playing. Stop playing. That's the answer right there. Drink and spit. Remember that? Drink and spit. But
Yeah.
if you know the why, you can solve the problem. I don't need anything else. I can figure out the equation to solve the why. I don't need all this other details. You got to know the why so you can understand the when, where, what, and how.
Mm.
Those are the things you solve. Once I get my why,
What?
I work backwards and solve the what, the when, the how, the why. You know, what is it? The who, the what, the when, and the how. Yeah, there you go. So,
Man.
anyways, let's find the why. Right? Let's start with the why. So, whatever plan you're hatching right now, whatever plans or whatever thing you're going through, let's say you're going through some kind of struggle. Think about the struggle you're going through. Maybe it's just coming up with rent. Maybe it's paying the car payment. Maybe it's getting a new car. Maybe the car keeps breaking down. So you say, this is a problem for me. I need to know how to fix this. Why? Well, because I need to be able to drive to get to work. Why? Because I need to get money to get bills. Why? You get down to the root of that thing, it might not be anything to do with your car. It may be that you need to find another way of making income, so you never have to have that problem again if your car breaks down. It doesn't matter. I work from home. I found a solution to work from home now. That car is not an issue, and that gave me more freedom, more time, maybe even made more money. So then I can go buy a new car because you went and saw a different why with a different solution that provided for all the needs, not just the one need. Does that make sense?
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's the holistic search. Yeah.
The why is like a shovel. If you keep using it, it's going to keep digging deeper, deeper. But eventually, you're going to find a treasure. And you
Mm-hmm.
keep using that why like a shovel and keep why. You'll get there. Hit that solid boom. Oh, I found gold.
Man.
Let's take that up and let's start getting some money off of that. Let's get some ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get some creativity. Let's get something going. The why is the sparking. This is the necessity is the mother of invention. That's what they say, right?
Necessity is the mother of invention. Yeah.
Yeah. So you look at it and you say, I need this. Why? Why is this a problem? Why has nobody else solved this problem? Why has this never been created? Well, these are the obstacles. Now we understand that. Let's find out the who, the what, the when, and the how. Make it happen. Who do we need to get with us? Let's break it down. Who else do I need for this? Who's capable of this? What is it that we need? What are the resources? What does it take to do that? What time frame? When? What's the time frame that we can do this? What's the expectations of when we can produce this, or how long is it going to take to get to that place? And then how do we bring all that together to make the thing fulfill the why? We're going to answer the why. We're going to satisfy the why. The why is the nag. The why is the tug. Now we can satisfy. It's like the baby that needs to eat. It's crying. You just got to get the food together and feed it. Feed the why. And guess what?
Feed the why.
The why is going to grow and give you another why. Okay, now you've done that, but now everybody wants it and you don't have enough supply. Why? Because you only went to one supplier. Now we need to go to another supplier and double, and that's going to help you grow. Why makes you grow? Think about that, right?
Yeah. Why makes you?
Home machines are really cool, right? If you make a letter I, right?
Yeah.
When you split it and you open your arms up, you make a Y. The Y is the sign of I growing. I open up, I double my arms up, right? I spread them out to make the Y. That's the symbolism of growth. When I add a Y, is growth.
It's growth.
I'm holding my thing right now, so you can't see my Y there. He did the Y.
Yeah.
You see? Put your arm straight up. Straight up, both of them. That's the I. That's the I. Now open them up, and there's the Y.
That's the Y.
The That's the Y.
Growth, baby.
When you add the Y to I, you grow. Why? That's deep right there. You got
That's good, man. That's good right there, dude. Get your mind right, man. You gotta get it right, you know.
Like the little DJ. We need to add that little audio clip in there just to play. That's so good,
man.
Hopefully you guys are having fun too.
Yeah,
it's not if you win or lose. It's how you plan the game. We're talking about making good plans, sticking with the plan.
Man, I tell you, the planning it changes the game. It takes you to another level. It puts you ahead of the game. Actually, it's like for a practical sense, I coached forever and I watched sports forever, and so many times I see, this tremendously athletic basketball team coming to a gym to play against a tremendously unathletic basketball team, right? But the unathletic basketball team had a very nice plan of action that they followed through on. The athletic basketball team, they could run faster, jump higher. I mean, it's something to watch, and the YouTube clips will keep coming. When it came down to the balls going in the basket and the score accumulating to the victory, it came down to the man with the plan. Yeah. And I that's always the case. And so, that was, for me, an eye-opener when I was younger to see how important it was to prepare. Because I was like, how the heck these dudes beat us? I'm like, how is this? Oh, it's a mindset. You ready? Grow. Yeah,
man. Listen, I want to touch on that too. My son literally just went to a lacrosse championship. It was the best of the East and the best of the West, and they went to go play. So he came home. He said, "How was the game, son?" He said, "Terrible." I said, "What do you mean? It was the best of the best against the best of the best." He said, "Yeah, but it was the best from every team came together. They were all the best, but they didn't know how to play with each other. They didn't have a plan. So the score was 0-0. Nobody scored. Nobody did anything because everybody was trying to make the goal and do their own thing, and nobody knew who was the sharp player, who's fast, who's that. You have to have a plan of attack. You have to know your
Yeah, wow,
strengths and
that's
your
so
weaknesses.
interesting.
Isn't it though?
Wow.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
best of the
dude.
best had the worst game because they didn't have a plan,
Yep, they didn't have a plan.
and that's the
0-0.
problem.
Wow. Dang, I
Zero
can
zero, yeah,
imagine.
no,
I see that game. I see that
yeah.
game right now. I can see it.
Everybody's doing their own thing, and how many of
Everybody's
us
trying
are
to do their
basketball?
own thing.
Yeah,
Everybody's trying to. Yeah. Wow.
everybody can't be LeBron, and LeBron is nothing without his team that knows how to pass it to him in the right spots, or when he knows he can't make the shot, he passes it off. You got to be able to work with your team. But you know, how many times have we got into a team and everybody's trying to do the best thing that they could do and say, I know myself, I know how to do this and that, but the team isn't going anywhere. It's not really functioning. I've been a part of teams like that. We get the best heads and the best minds, but the leadership, the one that's telling all these best minds of how to fluidly come together and move in synchronicity,
They don't
that's
got it.
missing.
They don't
So
got it.
everybody's trying to be a boss or be at least their own boss. Well, let me do my thing. I know how to do my thing. You do your thing. And if I do my thing well, we'll be okay. But no, because your thing isn't blending with my thing. We're not merging.
Right.
We're not existing. There's no cohesion. So what a plan does is bring cohesion. So let's bring that together, right? So let's go back to our first thing. We're going to make this cake. Remember how we're starting our business? We're going to make a cake. So the first thing we do is say, what does the cake consist of? Okay, flour, some eggs, milk, butter, sugar, maybe a little baking soda, maybe a little vanilla to give it some flavor, maybe a little lemon zest, whatever you want to do. Right?
Lemon zest.
Individually, these things, they're just what it is. Flour is very bland. It doesn't taste good. You don't want to eat flour. It doesn't taste nice. You can eat butter. It might taste good as a spoonful, but after 4 or 5 spoonfuls, you don't want to eat that anymore. It's going to get... But when you bring them all together, right, and you mix it together just the right way, and then you put a little heat to it, man, everything changes. The butter is not the butter. The flour is not the flour anymore. None of that's the same. It's now all just a cake. It's all just CBS. It's all just ABC. It's all just Netflix. It's all just HBO. It's all just Xbox. It's all just PlayStation. It's all just that one identity. We don't know who's all behind the scenes. We don't need to. We just need to know as a company, as a group, they function well. And the identity, Pepsi-Cola, Coca-Cola, is outstanding because of the leadership. And so you see that whenever something happens in a corporation, the first thing they do is tell the CEO to resign. Well, you're the leadership, you got to go. Oh, the financial records are off. CFO, you're the head of finances, you got to go. Resign, save face, we'll get new leadership. It was just an error in leadership. Everybody else gets to keep their job. Everybody else gets to keep their pensions and their 401ks. It's the leadership because it's about the plan.
Right.
So talking about the leadership and talking about a plan, maybe your job has you in a leadership role. I don't care if you're just a janitor. Guess what? You're in a leadership role because you're still in charge of making sure that your schedule is met at certain times, that you're got the floor done at the time if you weren't going to walk over the floor, or you're not cleaning the bathrooms when it's, just after lunch and everybody's got to go before they get back to their desk. Like, you have to manage all those things, and you got to manage your supplies and make sure you have what you have and all these other things. You still have something to manage.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Even if it's just yourself, and you have to have
even if it's just yourself, dude.
Yeah.
What's up, Mr. Dynamic Larry? How you feeling, brother? Thanks for watching.
Larry D. Yes, sir. Welcome to the show, brother.
Yeah, man. That's 100%. 100%. You just tune in. It's not if you win or lose. It's how you what?
Plan the game.
It's very important we use that word. Did you know that 1 minute of preparation will save you 15 minutes of production? 1 minute. Just 1 minute. That's fascinating. 1 minute of preparation saved you 15 minutes of production. So if you try to understand what that's saying, it's like the more that you put into just 60 seconds of organizing the thoughts, you can then optimize the usage of those thoughts by about 15%. Or by 15, or however you want to mathematically equate that, quantify it. You're getting more accomplished. And I realize it's true because I do it. Like, I spend my time on my list, write them out. Then when I go to hit my day, dude, I'm literally knocking things out. I probably get more done before 7 than a large population does, just because of the methodology, not because of anything inside of me. I just said, oh, this works. I'm going to do it again. You know what I mean?
by 9 o'clock, I'm ready for a nap. Literally, I'm like, okay, because I feel like I got so much done. Let me take a nap. It's 9 o'clock like, in the morning. It's like you get it done. But I say, I thought you were gonna hit that was it Abraham Lincoln that had that if you give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'm going to spend 4 hours sharpening my axe. Like, let's get the preparation and plan, you know. So
Yeah.
that's
Say
a
that
very
again,
good.
dude. I want folks to understand that. Say that again.
Yeah, if you give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'm going to spend 4 hours sharpening my axe.
And
That's the
this was
preparation.
Abraham Lincoln's quote, and that's the preparation quote of the everything centuries.
Of the generation, yeah, of the millennia,
Right.
right?
You got 6
It's so
hours
wise.
to chop down this tree. I'm gonna spend 4 just sharpening my axe, preparing. So when I take a swing at that thing, I can really get a good chop and it'll come down quicker, as opposed to not spending much time at all, just getting to work and chopping and really damaging my bones and messing it,
Yeah,
not
six
really
hours
getting
with a
the
dull axe is going to work you out. 6 hours with a
work
dull
you
axe.
out. Oh
And
my
sharpening that
gosh.
axe is real easy. He's sitting there whistling and drinking lemonade. Sharpening that axe is real easy. Just swipe. He's like, yeah, nah, I'll get there. Yeah, I'll get there. You know, I'll get there. Like, what you
Yeah.
doing, man? Done.
You got
Listen,
your
I tell you what, I
playlist.
had
You
a
got your
friend, man, he was
play
talking about,
your playlist on.
get your playlist going. Listening to Kenny G, just listening to the beats and stuff. I had a friend. He said that him and his buddy got this job to do electrical work in the church. They had to do lighting and all kinds of chandeliers and things. And him and his buddy said they're gonna split the money even. So his buddy said, you know, let's get to work. And he said, "No, I'm gonna hire me a crew. We're gonna have them build scaffolding stuff." He said, "That's a waste of money, man. I'm keeping all my money. They didn't get much, you know." He said, "I'm gonna keep all my money." The dude that hired a team, he had a plan. I'm gonna hire my team, had him build a scaffold, this and that. He finished the whole job in one day. He did half the church one day. The other dude wanted to do on his own. Took him a whole week by himself. He got to keep all his money, but it took him a whole week. Now, me, I'd rather have the plan. If I get these people in place and I know I can assign such and such to this job and this person that job, and he wasn't tired. He came home. He said, "I came home. I wasn't tired," and I got another job 2 days later. I was able to start a whole nother job while this guy was still on the same job. At the end of the week, I made as much money as he did. I was less tired, and I also was able to bless other people with income and resources. That's
Oh
what a plan can do
man.
for you.
Woo, man, that stuff gets me fired up. I love those kind
Plan.
of thoughts, ideas, and yeah, man, those testimonies and stories of like real talk, real breakthroughs. Yeah, that's what a plan will do for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
real life,
that's a plan to do for you.
real situations.
Yep, man.
So now let's kind of shift gears a little bit. Let's bring it a little closer to home. So maybe you're a single parent, or maybe you're the mother or the father that's running the household, and you got to have a plan of action to lead your team together, to lead your kids, to lead your spouse, to do whatever it's got to be done. And a lot of folks just say, "I don't want to be on this team. I'm not a big fan of this team. I'm just going to abandon ship." And you say, "I'm gonna make a new plan. I'm gonna start off fresh." And you leave these people who are looking for a leader to be there, to give them leadership, to give them go in life. Part of the plan has to be not to abandon your post. You don't quit until you see the victory. And when you lose, that's when sometimes when you face most adversity is because you're coming to the end of the road. It's the biggest breakthrough. At the top of the mountain, I heard a man say they climb Mount Everest 10 times in his life.
Who?
Every time it was harder and harder. It was easier. It was harder because he was getting older. He was getting more fatigued. You know, things were changing in the environment. Rocks might have fallen where he used to have a plan of action to go up this side. Maybe somebody came by and rocks just fell. And anymore. Every time it was harder and harder. But what he said was every time he did it, the last 10 feet were the hardest because it was the coldest. There was the less oxygen. You know, all these were it was the worst part was the last 10 yards. I'm sorry, 10 yards was the worst. Think about that. This man climbed it so many times. Now, Everest. But the hardest part of that whole was at the very climbing the last 10 feet. It wasn't putting the plan together. It wasn't getting all the gear. It wasn't mapping out the map he's going to go. Not charting how many days it's going to take. Not bringing the food. So that's the easy part. That's the sharpening of the axe. The plan should be the easy part. A lot of us get stuck in the planning phase. We've been making plans for 10 years, not getting anywhere. We can't move out of that space. Or we start climbing the mountain as we to the top. Say however, and they settle for that. They never reach the top. They never push through those last little few bits. They give up too early. Right? That's crazy, right? We got to push through those last 10 bits. But the easy part should be the plan. And the plan is why he succeeded. The plan wasn't all the things he had. The plan was, I'm going to reach the top of Mount Everest. That's the plan.
Yeah, that's amazing, dude. That's amazing.
Plan. Are you trying to reach the top? Are you just trying to be around?
Yeah.
Are you just
that's you breaking up a little bit. I think you might be up. The trees
are breaking up. You breaking up.
Yeah, the trees are intercepting your voice. Hey Jane, good point. She said, "Yeah, I tell you what. That's very interesting. In the last 10 yards, like to 10 feet or to what? Like, man, is that like? It reminds me of like when you have to go to the bathroom, restroom really bad, and then you gotta go, but then you get in the house and the closer you get to the bathroom, like the more you gotta go. Like, what is that? Like, why is that happening? Is it kind of the same thing? Like, you're getting close to the point, so it's like the body's like already trying to check out. Like it's going down. You're like, it ain't going down yet. Hold up, we gotta keep going. Or hold up, we gotta hold on. Don't let come out yet. You know what I mean? whatever it is. Really interesting though. That was an interesting point.
That's you see your right?
Huh? You're still chopping. Jane, am I clear? Let me know, guys, if I'm clear out there.
That's when you're down to his last little. Your minimum.
No, you're definitely being chopped up now. You're doing one of the tricks I did on Nicole. You sound like this trick I did to Nicole one time. I called her.
But so that's when you
can't even hear me at all. Yeah, this is what it sounds like. I can't when I okay. Yeah, man, now you're frozen. Okay, Jane. So, it's not if you win or lose, it's how you plan the game. That's what we're talking about here on Mindset Ready Grow. Mindset Ready Grow. Mindset Ready Grow. It's your mind right. Mindset Ready Grow. Mindset Ready Grow. It's your mind. Yeah, gotta get our mind right. We gotta get it right, baby. It's all. Oh, now I'm Joshua Christos. That's so interesting. Bam! Now I'm me again. I was you for a minute. It was you. So, let me see here.
Am I good? Am I clear?
Yeah.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, you sound clear now. I can hear you right now.
Yeah. Sorry about that, folks. Yep.
It's how we go, man. So, Technical tornadoes.
Talking, today's show again is it's not how you win or lose, it's how you play the game. Yeah. Yeah, man. I have full Wi-Fi bars. I don't know what's causing me to chop up. Should be perfectly good.
Yes. And so, if you know your why, it'll lead the way. We talked about not just planning, but the fruit that comes from it. This fruit, the outcomes from planning. You should get excited to plan. People run away from plans. They're running. They don't want to spend the time. Like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But I want to tell you, spend the time, a few minutes in planning. If you're not a planner, a few minutes. And that starts with writing down what you would like to accomplish. I make this very easy. Here's a real easy way to have a goal and then to quickly put together a plan that you can follow every day to try to accomplish it. Number one, say you have a goal. Think of whatever that goal is. Let's say your goal is to lose some weight. That thing seems to be a huge goal. People all around the world, right? So we got losing weight. Say that's the goal. All right. You want to pick the top 3 things that you can do going to lead you in that direction. So, for example, and I used to teach this, personal training for years. So I've put together plans. So this is kind of like second nature right now. Let's say, so you want to lose some weight. All right. Number one thing we got to do, boom, is cut the sugar out. Oh,
Let it go.
let it go. Okay. So every day we know we're doing something without no sugar here. All right. Second thing to do, plan your meals. Got to plan them. Why? The word plan's coming up a lot. Why? Because if you plan your meals, you'll eat the things you planned. You won't be eating random things. So you cut the sugar out and you're planning your meals. Third thing is get moving. Activity. And there's more to go to do, but you got these 3 that you do every day. You think that weight's not going to come off? If you got a plan to build your marriage, what are the top 3 things you can do? You want to build your business. You want to become a better this or whatever that. You think about the top 3 things. And this is how you move closer to whatever goal you have in life. It works for any and every mindset, spiritual set, soul set, emotional set, educational set. Any set.
Check this out. As you have a plan, the plan is kind of like guardrails on a freeway. They sit on the sidelines and they help keep you from going off the path.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, what happens is as you're driving down the road, you see signs that say Atlanta or Wisconsin, whatever, to give you some sort of direction. So you should have as your plan is set up, you should have these let's call them, milestones or landmarks that say, once I hit this point in time, I'm going to reevaluate to see if I need to course correct. Do I need to go south towards Atlanta or go north towards Wisconsin? Which direction are we going now? Your plan has to be flexible because the plan, everything you're doing in the plan is to bring something to life. It's to bring a family to life. It's to bring your business to life. It's to bring this recipe to life. It's to be transformative, to change things from where they are to something else. Even when you drive down the road, right, you're going from one destination to the next. You're transferring something from one place to the next. So we have to have a way of understanding, to checking ourselves and checking our roadmap as we go along. And then saying, okay, so now at this milestone, I'm looking at this, I'm evaluating again. Maybe you still need to keep straight. Maybe it's still that I'm going east, I'm not going north or south. But for those that want to shift, they can, right? That's what a road sign does. So you have to have these markers. So what could be a marker for somebody who's starting a business? So you say, I have my plan, I have it set up. So here's what we're going to do in 6 months. Right before Christmas, we're going to reevaluate. We're going to find out where our stock is at, meaning our resources. What kind of inventory do we have? What kind of sales have we been hitting? What kind of cash do we have? Where's our debt? Where's our liquidity? These things like that. Because I want to know these things so I can know, do we go hard for Christmas? Do we pull back? Do we have a lot of inventory that we can offer for sale to make our volume up? So you have to have these landmarks, and those plannings and those preparations are things that should happen. It's going to be winter, summer, spring, and fall. It's going to be Christmas and New Year's and Thanksgiving. Those things are going to happen all the time. You can know that maybe it's something around kids. Kids get out of school at this time. So I got to plan for my summer vacation. I got to schedule my work schedule. I got to plan these things out. So there's already things that are going to be in place that's going to help you to map out these landmarks. I know if I drive west, wherever I'm at, eventually I should start seeing signs for states that are on the west. I'm on the East Coast now. I shouldn't be going west and see a sign for Virginia. I'm going the wrong way. Something's wrong, So you have these milestones that say, hey, if this doesn't happen, I'm going in the wrong direction. So these are the benefits of the plan, but the plans, that's a phase 2. How do I recalibrate my plan? How do I adjust my plan? How do I keep the plan working for me? It might only have to get me for bake a cake. Now I need phase 2, which is sell the cake. Remember, phase 3 is make the profit, and what do I do with the profit? So how do we have these levels? You want to touch on how do we manufacture these, or some ways that they might be already presented to us?
What? And give me more.
So some other ways that people might think about, what are ways to preserve your plan or to refresh that plan? You've had a lot of businesses. I have had a lot of businesses. You got to refresh your plan sometimes. What are some things that you come across that says, hey, this is a flag that I need to rephrase my plan, or this is a milestone I set purposely with an intent to rephrase. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you don't have a notification. It just says, I got to refocus. I got to change my plan. Yeah. Sometimes it's where you set it up and say, in 2 months, I'm looking at my plan again to see where I need to go.
That's it.
What's the difference between those, and how can you find those?
Yeah, you basically just said it. It's that reflecting, introspecting and self-reflecting. Introspecting and self-reflection that can
Yeah.
help man change the direction. Yeah, and it really,
Introspection,
int-
self-reflection, to give
yeah,
you some information, change direction. I like
right,
that way.
yeah, yeah. It's true because and if you do that daily, like
Yeah.
some people have like weekly, reviews, monthly reviews, you know, annually
Yep.
reviews.
Yep.
Those are all great. I need that daily review. I need that internal, automatic, subconscious, instant feedback loop review.
Yeah. Where am I?
Like, right.
How am I
Well,
different from yesterday?
right.
What am I going to do
And
about tomorrow?
what am I going to do? And by you doing those things and speaking that way, it then prepares you. Look, you just said it, to be aware and available for all that. And so it's just a review for me and for anyone else. The best thing is you reviewing because you, life changes. Nobody before 2020 knew 2020 was coming. Nobody. Even the ones who spoke about a thing, even the prophets and the psychics and those who were like really, really close, they still didn't know this.
Yeah. And that's a quick evaluation. That's one of those outside factors that force a review of your plan.
Forced.
Forced review. Yeah. And so, yeah.
Right. Hey,
That,
look, that's crazy. I found
yeah.
I found out that the divorce rate like went up. It skyrocketed during this time.
Live what he does.
Jokers was reviewing. Okay,
Yeah.
and like, hold up, wait a minute here, wait a minute. This is
Wait a second. This ain't
is
what I
this what's
signed up for.
is this what it is? Okay, I don't
Okay.
know. She like, I don't know either. Like, I don't know. I don't know either. Okay, let's not do this. But it's fine because thank goodness, man. Well, some of them might have ended prematurely, just not able to do what they need to do. But some of them because their plan didn't line up with the other person's plan. Hello. But when you got the same plan, going back to what with 2020, sitting down and having that time to introspect, like introspection, that will help you change your direction. That'll put you in the right direction. That'll give you the right section of mindsets. Ready,
Yeah.
go. Put the
Yeah.
seeds in the ground and watch them grow. You don't know what you don't know, so get around folks who know more than you know. Oh, that's something else. Get
There
around
you go.
people who know more than you know, and that's how you will always grow. I don't know. That's just how it is, baby.
I tell you something, man. I had just recently had a plan. I was working on a project, and then I suddenly had to have a shift in where my location was, and it took me out of the region where I was trying to work and develop this thing at. So when the shift happened, I said, okay, well, normally when I come into this space, this is what I do, and I started to get into the same practices and same mindset. Not that it was bad, but it was just hey, I usually kind of relax and just have a good time with the family in this space, and thankfully something inside me said, ain't nothing changed. Stand your ground. What you working on is still the thing you're working on. Doesn't matter your location, because most of it's up here that I'm working on anyways. Is planning and strategizing, writing things out.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we can get set off track, right? But I had to know, what is my plan. My plan is still the same. My objective is still the same. It doesn't matter where I'm at physically. It doesn't matter where I'm at mentally. It doesn't matter where I'm at spiritually, emotionally. It doesn't matter who comes into my frame or whatever. You could be at a job and you have a plan, and they say, hey, we hired a new person. They're going to work alongside you. You say, hold on, I don't work well with other people when I got this plan and everything works as it's supposed to. Your plan still got to be your plan. You got to find a way to maybe to adjust it
Yeah.
to accommodate that space, but your plan should still be the plan. And the plan should be the reflection of the goal. And the goal is the why. So if
Mm-hmm.
our why doesn't change, nothing else really should matter, because the why is still the same. Now we just have to figure out when, a different how, maybe a different where, and a different who. Sometimes it's different who's that come in to place, and you thought this who was the who you needed, but that's not the who you needed. You needed someone else over here.
Dang.
And so we got to fix those things, but the why is the same. It is the
Yeah, I
why.
like that. You thought that who was the who you needed.
Yeah. You
you
thought the who was the who you knew, but did you,
thought the who, you thought the who was the who you knew, but you didn't know. Yes, hold on. I like that. You thought that who was the who you needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so
That's interesting, but that's really, and you hit something. That why, when you know your why, the who's will find you.
right. And the who's may
Ooh.
go and change around, but the why stays the same. And that's
Yeah.
another key too. When you're looking for, let's say you're hiring staff, the why should match up. So sometimes they say, why do you want this position? If you're interviewing for a job, say, why do you want this position? Well, I want it because I'm looking to grow myself and I want to get a better opportunity. And all your whys was I. There's singularity. There's no openness. A why causes openness. A why is expansive. A why is openness. So your why should have those opennesses, right? The openness. It should be. I think you guys are a great company. I think you guys have a lot of growth potential. I think you guys can pour into what I'm trying. Right? So we're all what's inclusive. I want to help be a part of that vision. I've read about the CEO and I understand their vision, what they're trying to do, and I think I would be a great fit for that vision. Oh, that's inclusive into what they already got going on. Now you're part of the culture. You're incorporating yourself. Not, I want to have the. You see the difference.
Oh,
when you're
yeah.
looking for staff, it should be about, are they matching up to our why? Do you know our why? Questions might be, do you know? Tell us what you know about our company. What do we do? What do we make here? Why do we make it? Right? And those questions to find out because all we're trying to do is get to that why, the who, the what, the when, the how. Those things are flexible. Those can change, but the why has to be consistent because the why is what the base of the plan is. Yeah,
the why gotta be consistent, man.
Gotta be consistent.
If it's not, nothing else will be.
Yeah.
And
because you could keep chasing your tail too. You could say, I want to make money. Why? Because I don't want to be poor. Okay, why? Because I want to have all the things I want in life. Why? Well, because I've seen people who have nice cars and things that think they're happy. Why? Right? And you don't understand why you keep chasing. So you got money. Okay, I made some money. Okay, I bought this car, bought this house. Okay, well, now I'm gonna keep buying new stuff. I keep spending my money. I keep doing these things. What you're chasing is experiences. Experiences evaporate. They're just air. So you're chasing the air. Literally, the experience changes from day to day. And the experience you have is not the same I'll have, and not the same you'll have next year, next month, if you go back and do the same thing. We used to go to the amusement parks every year, and every year, different experience. Same roller coasters, different experience.
Right.
So you'll never catch the experience. But if your why is something more like, well, I want to create wealth because I want to be able to change my society, change my environment. I see a lot of things wrong. And I know that if I had the resources, I might be able to do something about that. I want to make sure that my children's children have a way of living life and not being, held hostage by ideals that's, based off a lower income status. Right, you're really thinking about it. Those differences are wise. And then you might find that you don't need the money you thought you needed to make the difference in the community. You just go outside and spend some time with your neighbors, and it changes things. And you can find fulfillment now. I'm fulfilled. I had a great day today with my neighbors, and I played football with my kids and their kids, and wow, I'm fulfilled. You'll never be fulfilled if you don't understand the why. If your why is something that's immutable, if your why keeps moving around, it's got to be fixed. It can't change.
It's big, dude.
Yeah,
big. Hope you guys are absorbing this. Hope it was good for your mindset. These seeds can go into the ground, being your mind, the seeds being the information, the soil being your soul. We wanted to grow. And if you take action with words and things that you learn, do that long enough, it turns into wisdom. Wisdom has this uncanny ability to unconsciously hold and use knowledge the right way. It's like you don't have to do anything. It just guides you. Wisdom does that. And you only get wisdom by practicing the knowledge, applying it consistently to where it absorbs. So start thinking about where you can apply. Where can you start to formulate more of a plan of action, a plan for performance, a plan for a better marriage, a plan for a better world.
I'm looking for this quote. I got to find it. I saw this yesterday, I think. And I had to go over it a couple of times. I was like, wait, what? I think I'm almost to the.
And so,
I don't know. Expect this
plan. I think that one of the greatest things that we can do with our time is to use it wisely, because we don't have much of it. It's finite. Hello?
Yeah.
And you blink and your kids are taller than you. You blink and then your kids.
Why are our kids taller than us? I don't know why. Both our sons are taller than we are.
Like, it's interesting. Dang, what the heck?
Yeah.
Remember just busting here out of nowhere. So, you blink, your kids are taller than you. You blink again, and then your kids are taller than you. Can you close the door, baby? Thank you. So I just decided to stop blinking. No. You can't stop blinking.
You can't stop blinking.
You can't stop. Somebody holding their eyes open. I ain't blinking anymore. You gotta blink, baby. So make a plan. All right, make a plan. What you got, man? Final words.
Well, we never talked about deployment though. We wanted to touch on deployment. So you got your plan, you revised your plan, but how do you maintain the steady deployment, right? So the deployment of the plan is the plan in action. Because even though you have it in your mind, we can get stuck in that planning phase for a long time, but you have to
Yeah.
deploy. And so,
Yep.
it's good to have step one, step two, step three. And if step one is this, and so be it. You remember those books when you were a kid that it said had your choose your own adventure? And you could
Yeah.
go in and you could say,
Favorite book.
if you kill the guy, go to page 10. If you let him go, it's like you got to have a plan like that. Like if this happens, then this is what we're going to do. And if it doesn't, well, what's our plan B? And so the deployment is a daily deployment. It's a minute by minute deployment, and it has to change because think about that word deployment. As I thought about that, it made me think about military. And when they say I'm going to deploy some troops, they have a plan of action. But as the troops are preparing to load their gear up, things might change. They might find out, oh, the enemy moved, or oh, they just blew up the base we were going to send them to. Let's shift gears. We got them in the plane. We're going to land over here. Oh, that air base is now polluted. We got to reroute them to another base. So your plan has to be that flexibility in your deployment. You should have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. So while we made the main plan that fits the why, it has to have some sort of support of the structure. It's kind of like building your foundation. A is the foundation. A is everything you want it to be. In case that doesn't work out, in case it floods, I have this to get the water out of the flood, or whatever as you're building your house. So what thoughts do you have on the deployment of the plan? How can they be successful in the deployment beyond just factoring the plan and recalibrating the plan?
Deployment is going to come down to making sure that you cross T's and dot your I's. You can't deliver something that you haven't prepared for. So again, it kind of goes back to the preparation again, and then understanding, having a clear understanding, very clear understanding of what you're doing, where you're going, and also those who's,
Yeah.
taking a look at the who's involved. Like all those are very very important, and so because those constitute to where they participate in creating that equation called the outcome.
The deployment has to be daily too. I want to remind you guys that. So whatever plan you have, no matter what you deployed yesterday, today it's deploy what you deployed yesterday, and then today's deployment, and then the next day it's the same thing. If you're trying to, read a book, for example, that's just your plan. You're gonna go from page 1, chapter 1. Tomorrow you're gonna go, you might be at chapter 2, so you page 1, chapter 2, but you should have in mind what chapter 1 said, because this should be a building on to what you've already been established, whatever that was. So when you're working with your team, or if it's by yourself, you say, okay, today let me give you a good example. I used to do when I was really young, like 18, 19, I had got a lot of jobs where it was knocking on doors selling something, cable subscriptions, newspapers, you name it. So I remember this one job, this guy come to my door. He was selling magazines, and he was a young guy and I was young, and he was telling me how he came from Colorado and he traveled all around the United States with this group selling magazines. I said, you make good money? He said, yeah, I make like $300-400 a week. And I thought, wow, that's pretty great. And so I want to go ahead and sign up with him. I want to go ahead and do it. And I went out that was my plan, to go with him. And as I go out, I'm knocking on the doors, and I do okay the first day, and not too bad the second day. But as I'm learning more about it, learning more about the group and the team, I understand, maybe this isn't all the things that this guy signed me up to do. It sounds good, but man, I'm gonna be out the way. And
right.
And so I had to listen to the ideas and the concepts of the people around me. I had to see what the work was really like, and I had to adjust my plan to that. Right. So I had to rewrite that script. But the first day I went, I learned a little bit about it. And the second day I learned a little bit more, and I was able to take what I learned and kept it moving. So in your deployment, don't stop. Even if things get hard, don't quit. Don't let the cares of the world distress you. Keep pushing. Your why has to be so much of a matter to you that nothing will stop you. And your plan will be successful if, listen, the well-worked plan works well. And if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And you got to have a strong why. And that's my closing words. And hopefully this kind of helps some folks out that's watching this, or even on the repeat. Throw up the thing. Where's it at? Oh, listen, if you guys are watching this and you guys want to support us, make sure that you check us out on our Twitter page, patreon.com/Mindset Ready Grow. If you want to support us, we're trying to continue to do more things, grow the channel, and do more stuff. We're going to do a lot more stuff coming up. Right now, we're still laying the foundation. This is the beginning phases of the plan. Watch how the plan unfolds over time. But Support us on Facebook at Mindset Ready Grow. And thank you guys for watching. Rob, you have anything you want to say before we close out?
No, man, that's pretty much it. Put the seed in the ground and watch it grow. Cultivation is how it grows. Cultivation is your action. Your plan of action. I like that. A well-watered what?
A well-worked plan works well.
A well-worked plan works well, and if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And if you got holes in your boat, you cannot sail. Okay?
It's hard to tell. I rock well.
I rock well.
All right, there it is. Thanks for joining us, folks. We'll see you next week. Be sure to share this link out. And hey, press rewind on this if you guys wanted to go back and get some more of these nuggets. We got about 10, 15 episodes out there. So check out all of them. Good stuff out there. Mindset Ready Grow. We'll see you next week for your midweek, midday motivation Wednesdays at 1.